Good morning from me and my friends. I thought I'd take a walk up to my usual bench this morning so that you can see how beautiful my approach is. And there's method behind my madness, because as damp as the grass is, morning, I always say good morning to my friend there. I don't know what his or her name is, actually, which is very strange. This is an ersatz entry because we are in historic times on Saturday. Excuse me. King Brian and Queen Camelia are going to be coronated. So I think it's historically significant for me to make one of these graveyard missives with the permission of my friends here. And I thought I'd just run through, because on the news this morning, whilst there was talk of the nurses' strike and poverty amongst the people, it's important to recognise the significant things of life in today's modern Britain. So, here we go. Last night, all the traffic lights in London, every single one of them, were removed. Isn't that wonderful? And all the level crossings taken up, and the pelican crossings, and street directions, street signs, everything was taken up out of respect to who will be the new King Brian. And the first inklings of what actually happens in the church came to light. Because most of it, you understand, is myth. Good. And anyway, so what happens, I think in the latest rehearsal, we now know that the Archangel of Canterbury shall descendeth down from the ceiling on a wire. You know, we use wires in the theatre. And anyway, she descendeth down on a wire behind the tent. What is pinpricked with gold and jewels. I'm overcome with emotion. And then she goes behind the tent, and then she goes under the back of the tent, and under and round the stone of scone, or the stone of scone, and she standeth there in front of the king. Or what will be the king, because we don't know. It might not happen until it's all verified by the Archangel. So the Archangel comes in, and she's now standing in front of Prince Brian. And then a flunky, or there's a couple of flunkies either side of them, a flunky lifts up the skirt of Prince Brian. And the Archangel Gabriel, she ducks under with a bottle of olive oil, probably Filippo Berio, could be Waitrose own brand, because we are in troubled times. And she well, I'm not quite sure what she does under there, but whatever bishops and vicars do under the frocks of their congregation is probably what she's doing under there with Prince Brian. And then there's a bit of a sort of scrabble, because she has to back out. So you cannot turn your back on a monarch, any roader. So she backs out with a bottle of, you have to be careful not to spill the bottle of Filippo Berio. And at that point, whatever it is, something mystic happens, or it happens under the tent, and then she comes out and she proclaimeth that the king, because that's what he is now, the king is dangling free and in Virgo Tacta. And that point, I think something happens with the Queen. I'm not sure what, but they go and pick a hat from H. Samuel, and then it's plonketh on their heads, and then everyone sings some sort of hymn like I vow to thee my country, or God be in my head, which it usually is, let's be honest about this, and probably Jerusalem. Isn't that lovely? I'm not entirely sure what Jerusalem's got to do with it, but who are we to question? And then everybody goes up the palace for a boiled hand tea. Isn't that romantic? I think at some point they will appear on the balcony of Buckingham Palace and they throw buns at the subjects there below. Anyway, that was all rehearsed at midnight last night. Now, there was a rumour going around, in the village anyway, that the traffic lights, the street signs, the directions, the crossings and everything else will never be put back, because to do so would be an insult to the monarch. So if you're going to London after Saturday, you better take your Google map, your phone, your A to Z, because I'm old school, because you won't be able to find your way around anywhere. There's no directions, dear. Nothing. And that, well, who knows, this could all change come Saturday. Whatever you're doing today, have a lovely one. And I will say bye-bye.